Hello, guys. Today we have a so-called test broadcast, but of course it's gonna be interesting, I hope. So let's see. I'm showing you the Russian website about the photographers. So there was a photographer named Peter Petrovich Pavlov, and he was living in 19th century and beginning of 20th century. He was born in 1860 and died at around 1925. He was a farmer. Uh, in Russia, we call it Christianin. So it's not like Christian, but it sounds like the same. So after the cross and stuff like this. So he was also the photographer, and he was the owner of a photo studio, and he was the member of Russian photographer organization since 1894, and was in 19th century, was like in 1903. He was the part of revision commission of Russian photographer organization. So what is revision commission? Revision commission is definitely the censorship commission. So if you didn't know, the photography was censored by all the governments, and they were picking and choosing what to publish and what to not. And of course, they were destroying some evidence sometimes. But we have to give him a credit. He was photographing the municipal property in Moscow, and we have his original album. This is like archive document, so you can see its album, the Bâtiments Municipal, and stuff like this. So very interesting thing. Okay, I might turn a little background music if it's annoying. You just let me know. Okay, um, so let's just scroll through this album, and we're gonna. So this is like the titles. What do we hear here? Like what page and what building? So we just gonna scroll it over. So this is the State Duma. Also, you can see it had like little so-called floor. And what I'm talking about, I've been talking about this before, of the signs of the mud flood video. So we can't just tell each and every building doesn't have any basement windows, right? But it could be reconstructed to be looking like basement windows, right? But anyways, let's just scroll this album, because not each and every photo is going to be shown on each page. So you can see the pretty much same age, and it doesn't have such basement windows as the previous one, right? So not each and every building had it, and you see the style is a little bit different, right? So another building without the basement windows also, and it's like the beginning of 19th century. These pictures are 1913, so it's like around 80 years after, 80 to 60 years after the possible period of mud flood. But this building here, it has this parallel line, and the windows on the first and the basement floor a little bit different from the square windows above. So this upper part could be just upgraded after the mud flood. Well, it does. This video doesn't mean to prove something. We're just looking at the pictures. Again, next, this is the school of some Duke Cherbakov. So also has upper part different from the first floor and the basement floor, which could be reconstructed. Let's see. Next one also, this one doesn't have any windows, and the one before also looks a little bit different, so it looks everything okay. Another one also has basement windows, has this parallel line, so the upper part on my theory could be upgraded. Look at the different types of windows. So we have 3 windows here, we have only 1 window here, so it's like, doesn't match. So it's just a matter of symmetry, and critics may say it's okay. Also, very good example of basement windows here, which are not matching in the upper part with the first floor and the basement windows. Windows look bigger in the 3rd and 4th floor. Again, windows on the top look different from the windows on the bottom. But I'm not actually gonna just, prove something with those photos. We're just gonna be scrolling until we find those pictures that I wanted to show you. Some pictures I'm just not correct in uploading. I don't know why. Maybe my PC doesn't work very good. Again, very good example. Windows on the top don't match the windows on the bottom. You can say pretty much the same here, but we don't have any parallel lines here, so cannot say for sure, because the parallel line tells us that the building was constructed in 2 steps at least, because here we don't have any basement windows, as you can see, but the windows look a lot smaller than those on the top. Now remember, this is 1913. It's not an even 19th century, it's 20th century. It's like, an album of municipal buildings that person just, went around. Again, here we have a parallel line and different types of windows on the 3rd and the 4th floor than we have down here. And I promise you, when we reach those pictures that I actually want to show you, they're just mind-blowing. Some buildings just look just ordinary, nothing much. So it's not like each and every building had any signs, because some of them could be constructed after the mud flood, and that's the only proof that they don't have any basement windows or buried first floors or second floors windows. Well, guys, remember, this is just a test broadcast and testing to see if this is working as a program that I'm using right now. So if we have any technical difficulties, just let me know in the chat. If you can't hear me, if music is too loud, or camera is not showing my face or whatever. This is just 400 pages here, about 200 pictures, as you can see. 2 pages contain 1 picture. Maybe also red brick here, basement windows. Well, nothing suspicious to see, so that only proves that this building could be possibly built after the mud flood. Here we see 2-step building here correctly. I can tell you that, because they probably used this wall from the previous building. This part was probably all destroyed, and the down floor, the bottom 2 floors with the buried floor are from the previous building. Some wooden houses here. Another great example of non-matching architecture here with what we see around. So it's like probably this was the building that was before, and they reconstructed it with building and connecting two buildings here with this old building. But that's only my theory. I'm not gonna tell you like this is 400%. Okay, very interesting one. As all of you guys, I'm watching this album for the first time. I only seen a couple of pictures that I want to find here through this search. We can probably find it, but as you can see, also probably the upgrade of the building that was before here in the center, and probably this tower line also from was upgraded here, because you can see the line here. I'm not telling each and every line is correct to be an upgrade, but as you can see here, they made a door out of the window on the second floor. So this is the sign of the mud flutter, definitely. Also, good example of a neoclassical building, Greco-Roman style, Totarian style, whatever. Some red brick here, and we can see two looking like a mud flutters building on entrance. So probably this one in the center is also buried. Also doors from the windows here, as you can see, and a huge line showing something wrong. Probably, I don't know. What does it look for you? Also very interesting. State People's House. We see this decline of a landscape and some arches which are bricked up right now. Who knows? Maybe they're from the previous building. The Tretyakov Museum is very famous worldwide. It's like Hermitage. People go there when they visit Moscow, check out all these paintings. I might go there. They say a bunch of underground floors are there, so this one just looks like the beginning of 20th century. I don't see any suspicious things here. First State Hospital of Pirogova. Yes, it has a lot of mud flutters inside. I've been there and I checked a bunch of the buildings inside, so it's like free to visit. Sometimes you can even go inside and check out the territory if you have some, some type of pass. If you have somebody who's in this hospital, I'm not sure if I can do it right now, but I may go there with some zoom-in device and check out the inside. A bunch of buried floors here, and also looks like some building was inside, and two wings of those buildings on the right and on the left were added later. Sometimes my cats can be fighting, so don't be afraid of those screams. I just can't kick all them out together, because as soon as I kick one out, another one just sneaks in. Okay, this is also the hospital. Look at the hospitals. They were building the hospitals with those theater styles of France, facades. Very interesting. Also the parallel line from the first floor, probably mud flooded basement floor, which is invisible right now due to the trees here in the front. Also hospital here. Not too pretty fancy for hospitals. Those brick windows on the side. Why did they build the windows? Just to brick them up? Or maybe they couldn't, clear the evidence. A bunch of bricked up windows here also on the top floor. And here, some door from the window here in the front. We can see we cannot just see the entrance that was before. I don't see it. This is all made up later. Also some type of here we see different type of windows here and here, and some type of basement floors which are below the ground. Yeah, also this building doesn't have any front entrance. Was built later, a lot later. As you can see, a bunch of basement. All the street has all those very first floors, but the line of the second floor is pretty much the same on all three buildings, although they are different in construction qualities. Another state is a city hospital, as you can see. Fancy gates on its front facade in classical style. Another state hospital here with the church, with this church on this territory close to it. Another hospital. Looks more modest in comparison to those before, and probably built a lot later. As you can see, this huge line, and the people's height about maybe 5-6 feet high. So there's no basement floors at all here. So this is what was constructed later. No one was, given any crap about the basements, of their use and stuff like this. So people understood that this is useless. I don't know why it's vertical. Yeah, cats are just fighting. Okay, another hospital here. Also churches. I can see this line here, but I can see if there are any buildings. Sometimes pictures are just too slow to upload. I have to return. And some pictures are vertical, like this one. You can't see anything here. Just scroll to the picture I wanted to show you, so you won't waste much of your time here. Yesterday I made a video about the mud volcanoes and the connection of the clay layers and pies and stuff like this. So if you haven't checked it on the main channel, check it out. And also made some statements about the theaters. Also check this out. Also the line, we can see the line and different types of windows and different types of ornaments here, probably reconstructed. Also the state hospital. This is med house or asylum, I don't know how they call it. Bâtiment principal, hospital d'Alien. So it's like crazy people put there. Another hospital for crazy people. Another hospital for crazy people. How many crazy people did they have? Psychiatry. Oh, what the hell ever. You can call it whatever. It's also some type of asylum. Crazy people. Another 2 ones. It's like 10 already. Another one. It's in one city. How many hospitals did they have? Another one. Jeez, how many? These are just for the people who cannot be cured. People that are dying. Uh, Also, people that are dying. Hospital for the people that were dying. Just this is like ambulance. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but looks pretty Tartarian style. This is heart hospital. Corpse the guards. I don't know. Probably not the cardiology, but something. I don't know. This was it's pretty new one, as you can see, and this was where people were born. Little kids were born. Another one for the how do you call it? Write me in the comments so I can be more correct. How do you call the place where people were born? Let's see what's next. School ambulance. Also asylum for the newborn babies. I don't know, maybe for the those who were left by their parents. I don't know. Shit. Nobody knows how do you call the place where people were born in English. We call it родильный дом. It's like the house where you born, actually, in Russian. It's just like some for tuberculosis sanatorium, people who are sick of tuberculosis. Another one for tuberculosis. This is the house of desperate, I don't know, hospice. Yeah, hospice. People who are like desperate from their health, who are dying. Jeez, how many people were dying and sick there. Another asylum for old people. Mason de Retreater. Another one, hospice. Another hospice with basement floors and a door from the window here. Another hospice. Another hospice. Another hospice. I don't know. Everybody was crazy and dying. I don't know. What the hell? Another for the old and blind people. Another hospice. Look, this one has a decline in landscape and 2 windows are still left here. I don't know what does it mean, but it has this parallel line, so we can only guess that it was rebuilt. Why I'm talking about this parallel line, but very, very often it is a mark of the 2-step building. Like when you build first part of the building, then you build the second part of the building. So we can guess and make a theory that it was reconstructed in some other way or upgraded later after the people returned to the cities. Another orphanage here. Another orphanage. Orphanage, whatever you call them, look very fancy both in US, England, whatever. We just look at the orphanages. Another orphanage. Another orphanage with a fancy church with basement floors. Also 2 orphanages here. Very interesting. Another orphanage. This is so-called the house of cheap apartments, probably for the rent. Also, we can see a parallel line here, probably reconstruction. In the front, you can see windows a little bit different on the top and on the very top here. Another cheap apartment building. Look here, this looks like a just a side window, and I don't know, they use it as an entrance right now. Another one. This is a free apartments building, so it's like, I don't know, maybe some important citizens were living here, but looks pretty much fancy to be free. Another free apartment building here. Definitely was reconstructed for twice at least. Refugee de Nuit. It's like a refugee house. Very big one for refugees. I don't know. Just imagine if they would build some type of solid brick houses right now for the refugees. How much money would it cost? Also, refugee house here. Very expensive to build such houses for refugees. I don't know. Nowadays they just give them some tents and stuff like this. Most people just another refugee house here. This is one is a little bit more modest. This is what I probably expect from now. Also refugee house here. This is probably in the municipal cafeteria where people could be eaten for free, I guess, or for very cheap price. This is the workers' house. Probably people were working here and living at the same time. Also, we see parallel line, different windows on the top and on the bottom, and also here. Also, working houses. Also working house here. We're about half done, maybe even more, so just keep patient. This is the place that people were assigned to work. So people just gathered here and were assigned labor stock market, whatever you call it. They were sold to somebody who came with money and said, I got a job for you guys. You just go dig me some trenches and maybe excavate my house from the mudflood. Also, two water towers near the bridge, Chateau de Christovsky. Looks like very much medieval towers, but these are water towers. Jeez. They were just spending money on air. This is some type of pumping station, water pumping, hydraulic elevator, usine Metishinsky, bâtiment de machine in French. No, I'm not fucked up, I'm just reading in French. This is using elevator hydraulic, also water pressure station in Tartarian style. This is just this It's just like, it's nobody's living here, just people working. How much expensive they made this window decorating with all this bricks works. I don't know. Or maybe they just used the older building for this water pressure thing. Also, water pressure is just, complex of water pressure pumps and buildings. Also, pump line building, very interesting one. Huge entrance doors. Why would they need them? Just imagine Russian winter and these doors opening. All the heat will be sucked out of the building, into the street, and out on the street, of course, not in. And the cold air will go in the building immediately. Just they were wasting money on heating of this place. And it's supposed to be water travel station. How could they, heat it up with those huge windows? How much money would it cost? And water can freeze on all those pump lines would be useless in the winter if they're just stuck and frozen. Just a pain in the ass for those who were maintaining those buildings. Also, water pressure complex pumping lines, whatever you call them. Another one looks like a park to me, but it's actually a water pressure station. Main view, and this is the station itself. Very interesting what they doing here down below. I might check this picture a little bit later. Another view on this station, just just a huge park, just for the water station. Why not? Oh, I can see now. Look at this level here. Probably this was, all this stuff was excavated and leveled. Look at this. That's just my theory. Reservoir, they bought a view of, I don't know what they are reserving here, maybe water. Another water station here, 2 water stations. This is the sewers pumping station. Also sewers pumping station. The same question to it. Huge windows for pumping stations is just, useless, because you waste so much money to hit this place, and this is for no reason. And we see some, some mess here around it. Doesn't look very nice to me. Looks like a bunch of mess was there. Another pumping station. Also sewer stations. Another sewer station. Also something related to sewers, but this one is wooden, probably built not that long ago. Remember, this is the beginning of 20th century, 1913. Irrigation station. So they were, watering all the fields around. Also irrigation station houses for the apartments for the workers. Again, apartments for the workers of irrigation. And this is the irrigation fields. As you can see, the water line here and the fields on the sides. Also some house for those workers who work there. Central Electric house. I was showing it just in front of this Moscow River. It looked way different. Right now we can see they excavated from the other side, and we see the huge undergrounds there. I showed it in ancient power station video on my main channel. another station, railroad trains department, electric station of railroad trains department, and another electric station for railroad trains department, and two L's, two more. Another two ones, the same stuff. Okay, also railroad station, some type of park for trams and stuff like this. I don't know. Nothing so suspicious here. Also for the trains, maybe maintenance buildings, another office building, another office building, and the trains garages here. Also train park, also train park. Yes, Moscow was very big even in the beginning of 20th century and had a lot of train parks. It's a fireman and a train park of the firemen. They had their own fireman team. Park of railroads here. Park of railroads. Also park of railroads. Also horse tramway railroads park. So I don't know. I don't see any horses in front of the trams, but maybe that was just a name that was before they had electricity established again, because probably sometime they were using horses as a power because electricity was not working after the flood. And this is the picture that I wanted to, not this one. Yeah, this is the first one. This is the gas. This is the gas factory. It's called usine à gaz, but it's in French, so it's like a gas factory. I don't know, maybe gas production equipment factory. Maybe it's a gas electric station. I have to figure this out and maybe come up with more information. And just, we see a bunch of mess in front of it. We see the doors in the second floors here and here. They made the same type of door here. I hope you can see it. We see the buried floor. We see the ugly stairs that lead us to the second floor, which are made doors from the windows. And we see some type of excavation here in front. Probably some doors here also that lead us to the basement floor, which was probably something else before. We see another view from the different side. A bunch of equipment, looks very dirty, looks like it was excavated or something, and a bunch of mess here. Also, and this picture I probably showed it in other let's see, another view, because it doesn't let me show it to you. Let's see. still doesn't let me show you this video. I don't know. Well, let's return here. Let's see if we can just download it. Yeah, this is how it works. The YouTube algorithm doesn't let me find the video I want you to check out, where people showed me that picture. You just can't find it. No, it doesn't show me. Just let's wait for download. Let's just switch up the scene a little bit. Okay. Yes, it downloaded. Okay, let's hope we can find it very fast. Picture 171. 171. And when you work with archived documents, it always sucks because I have it a little bit bigger here. So you can see the excavation here going on over here. Hope you can see it right now. Some stuff with this mess, I don't know what was going on here. The door from the window here, right? These windows are just blocked with all this trash and crap laying around. A bunch of this looks like very flat on the top, right? This stockpile of dirt. So I assume this was the line of excavation actually, and this is just what's left of all this dirt that they were taking away here. Look at this pile here, huge pile of dirt. Also on the top, no windows here at all, and here we have windows. What the hell is this here? A bunch of rebar, right? Very suspicious, right? All these pictures are very suspicious. There's another view, as I told you. We see the level here. Level is around at least top of this door here. These are probably how much was excavated here from this side, and all those pipes or whatever you call them were also excavated. Look at them, they're dirty. Looks like they were like in the mud, sticky mud, clay mud. Bunch of excavation here, and this brick line here looks pretty much wet or dried after being wet. All this whitey stuff on the bricks, it also comes from the moisture. This entrance here also looks very suspicious, made right under the window. see. I lost the picture again. Yeah, go. No, it doesn't let me just, show it to you. Let's see if I can just. I probably won't show it to you this way. Let's just check it out in the horizontal way. I'm just gonna be zooming in. You just figure out that this is the line of excavation here, guys. Look at this mud. This is the door, and it's all in the mud, just excavated. Look at here. This is the line of clay that they're just, laying here. It was all excavated by those people that are working here. All this trash and crap here is just because they were, dismantling some buildings and using all those stones to, flat the surface after the excavation, so they can be, riding on horses and all this cap, so they can, take all this mud away. This is like very evident proof, as you can see. Let's check out the second one here. Bricked up windows. No crap. Why do you want to make such huge arches for the windows and then leave just, them on top? And these are gas reservoirs. And also here we see the line of excavation here. They're excavating it at this certain point. And how many bricks they were dismantling. Look, it's just the bricks from all the buildings. The buildings that were painted in white. Some bricks are red from the inside and some bricks are white from the outside. Look, they're different. So laying around, and they just gathered in stockpiles from all those dismantled buildings around, so they can repair and do whatever, to cover up the story. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you today. So it's up to you to decide, is this evident enough or not? And remember, this is 1913, guys. 1913, and this guy, photographer Pyotr Fedorovich Pavlov, was living in this age and was a member of Revision Commission and was sent to picture all the municipal property in Moscow in 1913. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. Thanks a lot for joining. I know there's not much people here today because this is not the main channel, guys. Share, like, and subscribe if you haven't, and send this stuff to your friends. Okay, I hope I didn't suck today. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you later. Bye.